Hello and welcome, this is MasterFiggy and I'll be giving you a manga review. I'll be starting to do a Boku no Hero Academia manga chapters reviews, but I know I'm a bit behind right now. There's 36 or 37 chapters out, so I thought I'd catch up by starting reviewing the first 10 chapters in this video. I hope you all enjoy. So basically there's this young boy called, I think it's pronounced Midoriya. He lives in this universe where pretty much everyone has superpowers and they're called quirks. These powers are called quirks. You have like many different ones, you know, super strength, super speed, flight, like whatever. And unfortunately he doesn't have a quirk, and he's always picked on, he's always bullied every day by his classmates. But he always has like this drive, a passion to be a superhero, and he always looks up to the main hero that everyone knows in this universe, called All Might. Superhero is an occupation in this universe, and All Might is like the best well-known hero in this universe. One day he comes across a villain. The villain actually catches one of his friends, and then he actually manages, with the help of All Might, to defeat this villain. So basically, so far where I am anyway, Midoriya basically tries out for this academy called UA Academy that specializes in training people for superheroes. A lot of people doubt him, that he will make it, including his mother, and especially the bully that he's known since he was a child. But with the help of All Might's training, he eventually gets in. He goes through some exercises with one of the lecturers, which a lot of that reminds me of Naruto, but I'll get to that later. And then the next bit where All Might actually teaches the rest of his class, and before he even actually gets into the academy, I have to say that there was like this huge examination thing where like they even built like a fake city for like people to like fight against giant robots and accident or natural disasters, as I should put it. And it's very interesting. You see different people who have quirks and how they use them, and it's very entertaining to see that. Now, so far in character wise, we have Midoriya. He's the kid, he's the underdog basically. You know, we're rooting for him the whole way. He doesn't have a power, he's at a disadvantage, but he'll keep going. And it's not really a story, or a character I should say, that we've never seen before. We've seen this character before, but there's something very likable about this character. There's something interesting about him. I don't know what it is really about him that makes me interested, but I feel very intrigued by him. I want to learn more about him. Also, you have All Might. He's the superhero that comes in. He's sort of like your stereotypical superhero when you first see him, but then when you like see his secret identity, he's pretty unusual. His design is pretty unique and quirky, which is really strange and really stands out, and it's really nice to see that. Midoriya's friends and people that he encounter aren't quite different either. When he makes into UA Academy, he has two friends. You know, you have the book smart nerd guy, Ida, I think that's how it's pronounced. And then there's like the girl who's like really happy and he has a crush on her. I think her name is I don't know how the pronunciation of this, it's Araka. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce that right. I'm only just reading it. So, and then there's also the bully. He has Back-chan, that's what he calls him, who has like explosive power. He always picks on him, and it's pretty much all the characters are very generic. There's not really anything new about them that we haven't seen before in other sort of TV shows or mangas or animes or films or whatever. We've seen them before, but I don't know, it's kind of nice to see that again, because you don't really see that in many stuff that's new coming out. You usually see it back in like old movies, so I suppose it's nice to see that in manga. One thing I noticed when I was reading this, I felt as if a lot of the things were influenced by other material. I thought it was too obvious to me in a way. I felt the whole idea of the manga was actually a bit like that old, or not old, but it came out early 2000s Disney movie Sky High, where you have the kid who has these two parents. They're both like the best at what, like one has like super strength, one is like flight, and people expect him to have like a superpower, but he actually doesn't. And then it turns out he rises to the occasion and gets a superpower. That's what it feels like in this manga. Midoriya, both his parents had powers, but then suddenly he gains powers with his training from All Might. I just felt as if that was a bit strong, the connection really, and also like even the bully in Sky High had like fire powers. The bully in this series has explosive powers. I thought it was like, it seems if it was heavily influenced by that film, maybe. I don't know, maybe it was just a big coincidence, who knows. Another thing I also thought was a little bit similar was when they were introduced to one of their teachers, where he was like training them into like 6 different sort of activities, and he basically threatened saying one of you will be expelled, like the lowest scoring one. I felt as if that was when Team 7, Sasuke, Naruto and Sakura were introduced to Kakashi into his training, and that he was like, I'll fail all of you if you share your food. And there were like some bits where like All Might, you know, he's like in the Iruka sensei sort of position where he's like looking through the teachers like past pupils that he's failed, and he like pretty much a lot of people have been failed from his class, and there's just sort of like similarities in that way. And I just kind of felt that the vibe from that teacher was similar to Kakashi in a sense. I don't know, maybe I'm seeing too many similarities. I don't know if many people caught that on, but I kind of thought there were a few heavy influences, but they weren't bad influences. They weren't too similar, and it was nice to see them referencing some material that has been used, and at least it's been good material that they're actually, you know, referencing from. And also there's very original ideas. Like the most recent thing I've seen is All Might's exercise, where they split up into teams of villains and heroes, and Midoriya's team hero, and he's paired up with Uraraka, I don't know how to pronounce her name, and they're against the villain team, which is Ida and Bak-chan. You just have this epic fight between Bak-chan and Midoriya, just clashing it out. You learn a little bit more about their relationship as well, and then at the end of chapter 10 you find the outcome of either team hero or team villain wins this. I won't spoil any of that for those who have not read it so far, but so far this is a great series. So far with these first 10 chapters I'm really enjoying it. You know, you have like most of the characters, like the art style, and it's the traditional like manga that style that you'd see in a shonen magazine. Then All Might really stands out because he is more like a mix between a Western and a Japanese style drawing in a way, which is pretty cool to see. But all the other ones are kind of like Japanese, but it's like a punk sort of feels, which is pretty cool to see. Other than that, there's not really much else to say. It's a really great series, entertaining nonetheless. Those of you who only buy manga, this isn't available just yet. It will be available, I know, here in Ireland, and in the UK it will be available I think August 2015. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's August 2015. Those of you who are looking to buy it, that's the first volume anyway. I don't know when volume 2 will be out. But yeah, it's a great series. It's very entertaining. Superheroes, many intriguing superpowers with different characters. I will be doing a review later on, possibly chapters 11 to 20, and then eventually I will catch up and then do a weekly chapter review, hopefully, on this series. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, even share it if you want. Check out other my videos. Leave a comment below. What if you saw the series, what did you think? Please, no spoilers for myself or other people reading the comments. And with that, I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and please stay tuned for future videos that I may make. Thank you.